Broads Media.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Broads. John Leclair added to the organization. Patrick Sharp added to the organization. How do I feel about this? I'm very unsettled. Uncomfortable would be the word. I'm actually optimistic about Danny. I believe he wants to be great at this. He's obsessed with being really good at this job. And I like what Keith Jones has publicly said. I'm on board. Executing it is a different monster. It's way more difficult. But so far, step one, a move by Danny Briere, which was creative. And Keith Jones saying, we're building with our blue line. We have to get stronger back there. That's the foundation of the team. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And also, I hire others to let them do their jobs. I'm just going to oversee. Danny, his hands are on this. His decision-making is real. He will be in charge of the hockey. I like that within your structure of your front office. We're open about it. We're honest about it. This is how it's going. Now, sometimes they lie, and then others have more power and their voice is louder. But I have no reason to believe that they're lying about that, and really Keith Jones is the master. So, if I have faith in them, who cares if they once wore the jersey? You're right. I don't really have a rebuttal to that. That's why I'm uncomfortable. You are correct. I like to scream at people and tell them they're wrong. I don't know if I can say you're wrong. I know that I've seen, though, Bobby Clark, Bill Barber, and Homer screw this thing up. What has John Leclair ever done? And truth be told, all of these hires are very inexperienced. They haven't done this before. None of them. Patrick Sharp helping out with prospects. Once again, I don't know if I hate it. I actually tend to think I like it. But I'm still bothered that all of these opportunities have went to someone that has juice behind their name with this city and this Flyers franchise. Should it matter this much? I don't know. I don't know. And that's why maybe this show is stupid, because all I'm doing is saying I'm clueless. I'm hurting. I'm all out of whack. I was informed that the only reason why the two guys and the president and the GM were the ones picked is because they did their research, they did their interviews, and it just so happened that even when bringing in others to ask them about this possibility and to get a sense on how they would do things if they did have the ability to land the job, and it just so happened Keith Jones was the best for it. Maybe if it was one or two job openings. It's how many now? And then also, if some of these did not get selected, Eric Lindros and Robert Esch were the other possibilities. There's no way in 5, 6, 7 spots to fill. It's all those that happen to be the ones that outcompete and win everyone when they sit down to interview them. There's no way. The probability is impossible for it to be that. You could actually sell me on Robert Esch because he did do some solid things with the Utica Comets in the AHL, in the front office with the hockey background. That actually makes the most logical sense. And I guess Danny. There was some buzz around the league for Danny Briere to be a protege. Is that even a word? Did I say it right? I don't know. It's early. I'm still working on my Wawa coffee. Actually, if you're listening to this, I'm recording this Friday morning super early because if you didn't listen to my Phillies pod that I did after the Diamondback series, I'm shipping up to Boston for a wedding. So hopefully no Flyers news happened by the time this gets scheduled to be released. I'm very conflicted. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's right to have your guard up. You can't go full force. We're going Canadian now, huh? Hey? They don't go, huh? They go, hey. The hell is the matter with me? I gotta shake off the cobwebs. I gotta get something released out of this body so I can get back in the rhythm. Whew! Maybe I'll take a fat swig. I don't know. I can't just go all in on saying, I'm back, baby. You got me right where you want me. I'm giving you a fat squeeze and I'm suffocating you when we bring it in. In what world do they deserve that level of freedom? Absolutely not. I have my guard up. It's like, imagine if you are going out on a date with a woman and you take her out once, you fall in love, she's smoking, great body, awesome to hang out with. And afterwards, when you fall in love, she breaks your heart. I'm saying a date or two in. You got that obsessed early and was like, yeah, this is incredible. Breaks your heart. And then a few months later, she hits you up again and you're willing to go out with her again. She does it again. After the third, fourth time, you got to recognize, I got to pump the brakes. Now, we're never going to leave the Flyers. Right? There's no option for that. It's in the bloodstream the moment you get pushed out of your mother. Or C-section, whichever way it went. It's a little too much for me to know. You can't just let them pull the strings like you're a doll. I have my guard up. And that's okay. I'm willing to admit that they can succeed. They're very inexperienced, so they got a lot of inexperienced former Flyers. If that doesn't let off an alarm, then you haven't paid attention to what they've been doing. And I was a fan of Dan Hilferty coming over. Seems like a smart guy. Get Dave Scott out of there. Selling off their assets is extremely important, and it shows that they seem to have a grasp on this. Just rubs me the wrong way. That's all. Speaking of Danny B, though, some frequently asked questions that I do have about the Flyers is, would I trade Scott Lawton? I saw a rumor that said the Flyers were offered a first-round pick. Maybe I just want to verify this a little bit to give it a bit more context. Let me grab my keyboard over here. Did I not? One thing about this, there you go. This Mac sometimes gets me aggravated. Did they get offered the first-round pick? 4 days ago, the Philadelphia Flyers have a high asking price for forward Scott Lawton. As reported, some of the deals that they turned down for Scott Lawton, late first-round draft picks. The Flyers reporter noted that the Philadelphia Flyers value their 29-year-old forward very highly. If you could get a first-round draft pick for Scott Lawton, I think you got to acquire that, no? I get what Danny Briere's trying to do, trying to play hardball and let the league know you won't walk over me. But I don't think a first-round pick for Scott Lawton is walking all over you. He brings value to your room, for sure. Could you make the argument that if you hold off until the trade deadline, you can maybe get more because teams are desperate, they want to go all in, they're trying to make a championship run. Sometimes you lose sight of the bigger picture because your team is ready to compete now. And Lawton brings versatility in a lot of different areas. Like, he can do a lot of things. He could play up the middle. He could play on the wing. He's a hard dude to play against. Leadership qualities, fantastic for the room. The intangibles. Get a first-round pick for that. Now, let's say he gets way more. And I'm saying, like, now I'm really fascinated to see the return. Because if that was a possibility, and let's say we find out that later on they get a second-round pick for Scott Lawton. Well, excuse me? Did you messed that up? What happened here? Or possibly the reporting was wrong. That is also in play. I don't know. There's actually a lot to look forward to in regards to studying and watching this process play out in front of our eyes. Now that there's a direction, it's nice to be able to hold on to something. But yeah, it's okay if you're in a daze, if there's some confusion for you on if the selected ones can actually turn this thing around enough. Individually speaking, I actually like a lot of them. John Leclair, that seems more of a face recognition thing more than anything else. We get Danny Briere. We understand Patrick Sharp did win a lot of Stanley Cups, did have an impact in scoring goals for the Chicago Blackhawks for a long period of time. Here's what I don't like, though. Well, he wasn't really a Flyer. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I don't care about where else he played. I don't care about his career elsewhere. Did at one time he have the sweater on? Once you have the sweater on, it's a cult. It's a brotherhood. It's a bond that they never, ever, 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 ever break. If it's one game, that's enough for it to be in the speculation of this is strange. But I like them individually. Do you see how this is making it hard? Except for John Leclair. Patrick Sharp, younger guy's been around the game, him and Danny. Jonesy, been around the game, inside the glass. He's been around this league and knows what's what, and knows what a organization needs to get back into a winning franchise again. I believe that. Why is it always this way, though? The last hire didn't work. That was Chuck Fletcher, and he was outside. I just don't know if they're putting themselves in a box by not giving others fair chances at it, fair swings. What are you missing? There could be A-plus individuals. There are a lot of franchises that bring great, great, great players back. Jerome McGinley. You can look through up and down this team and see that, or this league and see that with teams. But there's something about the Flyers. One, I care about them, and I don't give a damn about others. Just quite frankly, it is what it is. I'm just letting you know. I don't care what other teams are doing. I need to focus on what this team has been doing wrong and trying to shake up that disaster. Because it started internally on why everything went south with the last regime. There was good times before the bad times happened. So if you want to use maybe a timeline with the new, fresh regime, that maybe it clicks early and it clicks in the middle, but then towards the end, there's a fall off because maybe guys were butting heads in there and they felt that the team should do one thing and then others felt the team should do the complete opposite, and then now there's some internal friction going on. It was time, though, and this is what they elected to do. Will it be enough? I'm praying to the hockey gods. I'm doing everything in my power. They just make it hard for me to feel more affection towards it. I'm excited, but I think it would be at 500. Right now, it's at 100. Am I an idiot? Possibly. All right, I'm wrapping things up. I got to get rolling. Appreciate you all. You're the greatest. I love you. We'll be talking soon.